F.L. Baker was an international drug smuggler. He sold heroin, morphine, cocaine, mainly into China. It was an interesting thing. They had a huge drug trade with Hong Kong, and he barely managed to escape England with Janet Smith, and who was the nursemaid taking care of his child and his wife, and they got back to Canada where the law couldn't touch him. Although his closest partner was page one headlines in the British newspapers when he went to before the courts on charges of selling drugs.
So they didn't want, I guess they didn't want that to come out, although it kind of sort of did.
Yes, and as I point out in the book, I think that there was a connection to the royal family. It's a little bit complicated, and I also make the case, which some people have found rather startling, but I think people may have gone in to the files in the British archives and meddled with some of the contents, and I'm saying this might have happened in the 1980s. There were some very mysterious files that were locked under lock and key for 75 years, and when they were released, they didn't have the information in them that I was originally told that they contained some years earlier when I first made inquiries. I went to Scotland Yard, talked to people there, and tried to get them to tell me what was in the files, and they told me it was too sensitive, whatever was in the files. And when they were eventually released in, I think the year was 2004, the files didn't contain anything of consequence at all, and in fact one of them, which once had the title something like F.L. Baker accused murder or something like that, some nebulous title, had some information in it about gun registration in London in 1925. And I don't know what happened there, and I'm curious about it's a complicated story, but I was given to believe that there might have been some involvement financially by Prince Arthur, Prince of Connaught, who may have invested money, perhaps unwittingly, in what was a rather large drug cartel in the 1920s, and he would not be the only royal who got involved in similar scandals involving probably less dramatic, less sordid things than drug smuggling, but there were cases of royals putting their money into shady ventures. So I don't know what happened, and I'd like to answer that question that's been in my head as to what happened in those files in recent years.